And we need, how many of those? We only need 25 of those to get, or no, we need 50 of those to get to the mining thing. And then while that's going, we can actually set a herb line up as well. So we're going to go probably with this one up here because that kind of eases up everything. So let's just go ahead and set a little dock out here, kind of how the computer did it for us over here. We just need a container in the water for the boat to go ahead and interact with. So I think that's high enough. Can we do that? That is just barely high enough out of the water. Okay, so let's go ahead and run a pathway over to that. And now we need to go ahead and get a level up to here. So if we run to there, can we start sloping down so that we're able to just have a little thing coming back up here? We were indeed. Okay, so then we're going to need a little box on top of this to go ahead and have it drop off into, so a crate should work. Building is blocked. Why is that blocked, but this one over here isn't? What's the difference here? Oh, you know what? It's probably a solid base instead of the open base like I put down. Okay, so let me fix that really quick and see if that was the issue. There we go. That should work. And I don't think it was that issue. I think we can't place the boxes on top of the pathway like I was trying to do. Yeah, we can't place it on top of that, so that wasn't an issue, I don't think. But let's go ahead and place down a raft. Is it a raft or a boat? What is happening over here? That is a boat. Okay. So we'll have a boat going between these two islands here. Actually, we don't need to place the boat down just yet because it's not going to do anything. So let's go to the herbs, and then we can go ahead and place down the farm thing, the farmhouse, I believe. And that's going to go ahead and start producing the herbs for us. We can also throw down a well to go ahead and feed it the water that it needs. So that's a pretty easy little thing there. Let's go ahead and connect that in with the piping. So something like that should work. And then we can actually just have that go down a chute into a box, I think, that then can go ahead and get picked up by a boat. So if we place that there and then have a chute, or actually let's place the box down first and then have the chute coming out of the building. So something like this. Oops, let me have that going the right way. Is that going the right way? I think that's going the right way. We can have that go down and then into the box, I think. Oh, it's a little too high, isn't it? Let's go ahead and back up the box just a little bit then and see if that'll go ahead and be low enough for us to place the thing down in it. So that should work, and it is indeed. Okay, so now we have the herbs coming down into the crate for us. So now we can go ahead and place a boat and have the boat interacting with this and dropping them off in this, I think. And yes, that's exactly what it's going to do. Cool. So we can actually probably double up on those boats because that doesn't look like it has that much space. Oh, it actually has 10. We'll just double up on it for right now. If we need to go ahead and kill one of the boats, we'll kill one of the boats. Not a big issue. But now we have those things coming over, and we can have one of our wagons grabbing the herbs from here and dropping them off into this. And then we can also set the recipe for that to go ahead and begin. And then we're going to need one more of these wagons to go ahead and start taking those booklets as well. So the natural tome as well, and take that and drop it off in the school. And we currently have 21 of the copper cog looking things. And we should, any minute now, have the other ones being produced as well, which we do. We might be able to go ahead and put more of the wagons in motion, because right now we have 10 of those books in our inventory of this building, so they're not really being used up that fast. I didn't realize this, but there's actually a limit to how much the main building can actually store. So we have 1,000 of the planks in the building right now. And that's apparently the limit, because right now the conveyor belt is actually backing up and not moving anymore. So I think we can kind of fix that by placing down some pushers just to kind of pull things into the building as they need to be pulled in there. So we have planks, we have conveyor belts, and I think that's all we have coming down this line right now. So let me set the filters on these. So now when we have this stuff coming down, if we hit a capacity in this thing, they should still go down and then go into the main store to be sold. Actually, hold on. Do conveyor belts even go in here? I don't think they do. Yeah, they don't go in here. So that's not going to do us any favors if the conveyor belts start going down this way. But with the way it's set up, it shouldn't go down this way at all until we hit 1,000 conveyor belts in our storage, at which point I'm probably going to stop the building from producing it, because then it's just going to clog up our line and cause some issues. So yeah, we'll leave that be for right now. It should be fine. The conveyor should go into the building, and all the extra planks should be going to the store to be sold and get us some more red coins. But anyways, we need to go ahead and start producing some of the other stuff here. So all we need left for the goals here are the iron wheels and the metal rails, which we should, I think, be able to go ahead and produce now. Maybe not. I think we might need this one to get the machine shop. And I think that's how we might make the metal wheels, because they're not currently in the other building for us to make. So we could go ahead and buy that, or we can just hold off for a second and buy the 50.1, and then we can buy that one later, which I think we're going to do. We only need 9 more points, and we're just about at the 50. Oh, not really at the 50, but kind of climbing our way to the 50 to go ahead and get the fishery as well. I'm going to go ahead and spend some of the science points on the caravan, because that might be more capacity wagon. It might be a bigger wagon that we can build. Let me see. Yeah, it's a strong high-capacity vehicle, but we need 4 of the reinforced planks, which we need the nails being produced to go ahead and make. So actually, let's not build any of those at the moment. So we finally got enough of the copper cogs here to go ahead and research the mining thing. That's going to give us the mine building to go ahead and place down. Now with that, I think we can go ahead and automate the stone production, or the stone harvesting, and the iron harvesting as well. So let's go ahead and place one of those down, and then we can go ahead and conveyor between the two. Actually, no, we need, what is that? Pickaxes, I guess, and then 10 of the reinforced planks as well. Okay, so we might as well have this guy over here start producing the nails, because we need the nails anyways for the other items here, so we might as well start producing those to go ahead and get those kind of squared away as well. And then I think we need those nails going back to a workshop, which is where we produce the planks and we produce the pickaxes as well. Okay. So we need the iron ingot looking things and the nails coming to this warehouse or workshop. And then we need those staying in here and producing pickaxes and the reinforced planks. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and have a wagon yet again, bringing both of those items between the two. And then maybe, since we're going to be producing those planks, maybe we throw down a couple of caravans or something as well. We also just got enough of the green points to go ahead and buy the fishery thing, so we can go ahead and get that building placed eventually as well. And we are pretty close to getting the machinery one unlocked as well. Oh, we also need the metal railway one too. We need 125 more of these points before we are pretty much squared away with the science points to go ahead and kind of get done with the goals here. But let's go ahead and see what we need to go ahead and build the fishery at least. I don't think we necessarily need it in all honesty, but we just need it for the quest. So we can go ahead and place this here. Do we need this connected to a pathway or something? No, it looks like we can just have it floating. So we can place that there. That's going to go ahead and harvest the fish in the area, I think. Seems to be doing it. Okay. And then we can have this guy picking up and dropping off like that. So pretty much what he was doing already, but now he's just going to the building that's automatically harvesting the fish for him and just doing it like that a little bit quicker, I think. We can at least do the machinery one right now, and that's going to give us the ability to start making the metal conveyors, which I think we needed. It's been a second, but yeah, we need 50 of those produced to go ahead and complete that goal here. And to do that, we need to go ahead and place down the machinery building. So where is that going to be at? That is not that cheap, but we need 20 of those reinforced planks, which we don't have any coming through the line right now, because all of the stuff that we have is being used to make the pickaxes, which doesn't make all that much sense to me, because we only have one of those right now, and we don't have any of the reinforced planks backlogged. So who's taking the pickaxes? Because it just vanished from our workshop right now. Is it going into our main storage? Is that what's happening here? Yes, it is. Okay, so we have 9 of them backlogged right now in our inventory. So if we open this back up, we needed, what do we need? We need 10 for the workshop. So once this building produces one more, which it just did, I'm going to cancel that recipe. So we're not making any more because we don't need them at the moment. At least I don't think. But we should have 10 in our inventory whenever that guy gets to the building to drop them off. So now we can actually make a mine. Oh, actually, no, we have to wait for the reinforced planks, but once those are done, then we can place the mine down, and that's another one of the goals done. All right, cool. Now we have enough of the reinforced planks and the pickaxes to go ahead and place down the mine. So I'm going to actually place it, let's see. Let's go ahead and actually just place it over here then, I guess, on our stone deposit. That should be good. Once the worker gets out of the way, oop, he came back into the zone. Let's place it now. There we go. So this should start auto harvesting the stone, which it is indeed. So then we can go ahead and kill off some of these people. We don't need them doing anything anymore. This can then automatically just conveyor into this building. and that's going to go ahead and get that kind of squared away for us. And we can also delete this guy. I don't think we need raw stone going into the warehouse anymore. We have 844. If we need more than that, I'll go ahead and place someone on it, but I think we should be good with the amount that we have now. But that's going to go ahead and start getting the stone bricks produced a little more frequently here. We can also speed this thing up if we wanted to go ahead and kind of spam out a bunch of those bricks, but we don't really need them at the moment, so we're kind of okay. And I think we should have enough of this stuff to go ahead and make one of the caravans, and we do indeed. Okay, so let's place that there. What is the storage capacity? 8 items of 4 different types. That's pretty good. So can I set a filter for each item here, or is it going to set it as the whole thing here? It's going to set it as the whole thing. That's not kind of what I want to do at the moment. I kind of want to just have this grabbing all of this stuff if I can. It's not going to let me grab multiple different types of items. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Let's just go ahead and set this as the ingots, and then we can have that grabbing the ingots and taking them to this building. And then we need to find the one that's bringing the ingots from this little guy and delete him. And the same thing with the nails. Goodbye. And then we can go ahead and place down another caravan to go ahead and grab the nails and bring those on over to the workshop as well. Kind of don't like that it's doing that, but okay, there we go. And that's going to go ahead and bring a total of 32 items in one go instead of just the 4. So now this thing should always be empty whenever this thing rolls up and grabs its inventory, because it only produces 10 items. So now that we have the iron stuff coming out and going into the workshop, we have the reinforced planks automatically being crafted now, and they're going right into our main storage building over here. We currently have 42 of them in our inventory, so we can go ahead and build one of the machine shops so we can start producing the metal wheels and the conveyor belts as well, I believe. So for right now, we'll just go ahead and plop it over here because I don't know if we're going to need iron or not. And if we do, then it's easy just to go ahead and run a conveyor to it. If we don't need it, then it's just not really that big of an issue just having it out here. But we are going to go ahead and need it to be producing the iron wheels. We can't make the conveyor belts at the moment because we need to research that. Okay, that's not a big deal. And the same thing with the rails. We need to research those as well. Okay, before we can make any of that. So I'm just going to have them making the gears as well, just to go ahead and kind of backlog a little bit in the building here, and then we'll go ahead and have a wagon taking the wheels out of here and putting them in storage until we hit the limit, because I'm not really going to have that going constantly. We just need 40 of them in our inventory thing to count this quest, and then once that's done, I'm going to disable that from being crafted because I don't know what those go to at the moment. But let's go ahead and have one of our wagons going between the building here. I'm going to use the normal wagons because I don't think we're going to be making that much anyways. So we can just have this guy doing the metal wheels, which are right there. We can have that as the filter, and then we can have him picking up and dropping off over here for right now. And then I think we're going to use the little wagons as well from here. All we need to go ahead and do is bring the metal ingot looking things over to it. So let's set that in motion as well. So that'll go ahead and bring some ingots over. That'll go ahead and start producing the metal wheels and the gears for us. So now we can go ahead and start working on that goal. Let's also go ahead and see if we have enough of the stuff to research those items that we need. We need 100 of the cogs to go ahead and get the metal railway, and we also need another 100 to get the metal conveyors. Okay. We don't really need the nature stuff coming in anymore. The whole little herb line that we set up was kind of just for that one research. I think we needed just one of the researches for it. So let's go ahead and see if we can increase our cog research, which I think we can do. We have 10 of them in here. What if I go ahead and grab one of these guys that is currently picking up the books? I think we have one of the little wagons carrying that stuff between the buildings here. This guy's taking the nature ones, which I'm not too worried about. I kind of actually want to see if I can disable this one and the other one and see if I use one of the big caravans, if that's going to carry both books at one time here. We can probably also do that with the nails and the ingots with the other wagons instead of having both of them set to it. So I'm not going to set a filter on this because we're only producing those 2 types of books. So it'll hopefully grab both of them in one go, and then we can have it automatically drop at the school. Hopefully is how this is going to work. And it did indeed. Okay, so this guy is now full of all of the books that it can carry, and it's going to carry both of them in one go because we only produce 10 of them, or a full capacity is only 10 of them, so we should be hitting capacity on the wagon, or close to capacity on the wagon over and over again. So if we wanted to, we can go ahead and rearrange the wagons that we set on this line as well, so that it's carrying both in one go, because it's just going to the building We just don't need both of the wagons doing that, but it's already in motion. I don't really want to mess with it too much. So now we have enough of the cogs to go ahead and research one of the items, but before we go ahead and do that, I went ahead and changed this little setup over here. So I don't know if I could have put the merger somewhere over here instead, but what I went ahead and did was just go ahead and have the conveyor go around the grabber on this one, and then I have it going into a merger together, and then it splits it 1 to 1. So now we have a flour, grain, over and over again. So now we have at least everything in this line moving together again, and now we're going to go ahead and start getting the little benefit that we should be getting from giving them the extra little food item here. So our happiness should start climbing, and I think some more money should be coming in as well now that we're meeting their demand again. But anyways, let's go ahead and research. Let's go with the conveyor belts. I think the conveyor belts might come in more handy at the moment. We might be able to go ahead and swap out all the ones we have down right now. So we'll go ahead and have that get researched, and then we need another 90 or so to go ahead and get the metal railway, and I think that's the last research we need to do. So let me go ahead and see if we can go ahead and start producing those in this building. I think it was. Yeah, we can go ahead and either just completely make it with the metal ingots and the gears, or we can go ahead and truck on over our cloth conveyors and turn those into the conveyor belts as well. I think we're going to go ahead and turn our cloth conveyors into the metal ones. We have 522 of them in our inventory right now, so we use a little bit less metal like that as well. And since we have a bunch of those crafted already, I think that's going to be the better choice for us to go ahead and use. So I'm going to actually change the metal thing that's over here. I'm going to change it so that we only have one of them going to this warehouse, so we get the extra one back. And then I'm going to go ahead and have another one bringing the conveyors to this building, and then one's bringing the metal stuff to this building. Or actually, no, I'm not going to change the little one. The little one's fine bringing the metal over here. I'm going to change the filters off of these so that we can go ahead and carry both of the items in one go. We have a lot more nails than we need. There we go. We have one of the caravans taking the conveyors out of our main building, and then we have the other one taking the metal stuff from this building and dropping it off in that workshop. Hopefully that works, because I don't know if it's going to kind of clog itself up eventually by trying to fill up with nails, because we have a lot more nails being produced than we have of the metal ingots currently. So right now he has 3 of his inventory slots full of nails, and I think it's going to go ahead and clog itself completely here in a bit. Do we even need nails in here? We do need nails. I don't know why we have so much like just being used. Oh, you know why? Because we have ingots going here, and then that building as well. So let's actually place down another one of these. Can we increase the speed anymore? We can't. So yeah, let me place maybe one more of these guys really quick, and maybe that's going to go ahead and kind of help with the metal demand that we have right now. Okay, so for right now, we're going to continue using the workers to go ahead and feed these 2 buildings. I went ahead and reset the pickaxes to be being made in this building over here. So once we go ahead and get 10 more of those, we can go ahead and place a mine on the iron over here, so we can kind of automate the feeding of these 2 buildings instead of having all of these little people feeding the iron into that. We're also going to go ahead and have to start bringing more iron in eventually, because that little deposit's almost dry. We have a nice big one on the island on the outside, and then we got one more on the far left island, and I think that's it. We have 2 more pockets apparently of iron available. Okay, so I think this should last us a little while longer. I don't think it's that close to being empty just yet. Yeah, we have like 1,000 or so left before we run out, maybe a little over 1,000 before we run out, so I'm not too worried about that just yet. But now we can go ahead and disable the wheels being produced, because we don't need any more of those. That's one of our quest things done. Let's go ahead and turn that off so we don't have any more being produced. And now the only thing that should be getting made is the conveyor belts and the gears, because that's all we need for that. Cool. I must not have set a wagon or anything in motion to go ahead and take the conveyors out of this building, because right now they're not leaving. So let me go ahead and set a caravan, or actually let me set, let's set a caravan to go ahead and take those, and then actually no, that's going to be such a waste because it's not going to do anything. Let me have that caravan actually taking the iron out of this building and dropping it off here, and then we can just go ahead and use a normal little wagon to go ahead and take the conveyor belts and drop them off in the main building. Ooh, should I set a filter on that? Let me set a filter on that just in case. And now we're going to go ahead and start having those conveyors going into our inventory. And then I think this guy can go ahead and get deleted because we don't have the metal wheels being produced and there's no more in the building for him to carry. So now we should be kind of good. Let me go ahead and crank the workers up on this building to go ahead and produce those conveyors a little bit more quicker. We now have enough cogs to go ahead and finish off the research that we need. So let's go ahead and toggle the metal railways. And that's going to allow us to complete the last tech level, I believe. And then we can go ahead and also try out these metal conveyors really quickly here. So let me go ahead and clear the chute, and I'm going to see if we can go ahead and place these here and hopefully have it going fast enough. It doesn't seem to be that fast, actually. Maybe it's a little bit quicker because this is constantly covered in the little grain balls, but I think we're still barely keeping up with this thing. So I went ahead and changed the things a little bit here. I have the farm being fed fertilizer and water. I also kind of upped the water production a little bit here because we were running out of water in our pasture over here. But I have 10 people working in the farm now, and it's producing enough grain really quickly. It's just not leaving the building quick enough. And I don't want to place more of the conveyors here because we're going to kill the grain that's right here on the ground, the wheat on the ground here. So right now we've kind of grinded to a halt because we're only making the animal feed that's going into this thing to produce the leather that we need for the books. So I don't know what we do about that. We're just going to go ahead and kind of leave it, to be honest, because we're just about done with the level anyways. So I don't really mind it too much. We just need to kind of keep that in mind next time we do that. But let's go ahead and set the metal rails in motion as well. We're going to use the wooden rails that we have in our inventory because we have 100 of those saved up already. So let me go ahead and set a caravan on bringing those from our warehouse over to the building here, and then we can go ahead and pretty much have one of the last things being built. We need to go ahead and start producing the food though. One of the items was a fish soup or something like that, so we need to go ahead and start making those. So while the other stuff runs in the background here, we can go ahead and set our kitchen lines in motion here because we're going to probably need like 2 or 3 of these kitchens, and we're also going to need, I think, another pasture, or we can just go ahead and use the one that we have down already. But we're going to go ahead and need butter. We're going to need the fish, which we already have kind of automatically going for us. So let me go ahead and set the first kitchen right over here, and let's see how many of these we actually need. I think these can only make one recipe at a time though, so let me see. That's the fish. We need butter as well. Can we have 2 of these going? We can. Ooh, that's going to save a lot of time here. Let me go ahead and look at the recipe one more time. What do we need for that? We need the fish, the butter, a tomato looking thing, and then we just need fire to go ahead and heat it up. So can we make the fish stew? We can indeed. Oh, it's right here in the recipe list. I should have just used that instead. But there we go. So we can make everything in this. We just need to go ahead and supply it with the fish. We need to supply it with milk. So we need to go ahead and enable our pasture to start making the milk again. And then we need to go ahead and make potatoes in a farm. So I think the way we do that is by placing down a farm. So let's go ahead and place that. We can place it right here near this thing. Yeah, let's place it over here with this thing and not make this too complicated by dragging it away from it or something like that. So we'll do a 3-space gap from it, and then we can go ahead and select the recipe, which we need tomatoes. We can go ahead and disable the other things, which I don't think we need to disable anything. That's just go ahead and supply it with stuff. And then with that recipe selected, I think we need to go ahead and go into the farming tab and place down a couple of the farm tiles. I think that's how this works. I don't think we can just plant tomatoes on the ground. Oh, we actually can. Okay. So all that does is cost us the gold coins, which isn't too big of an issue. Let me go ahead and place a few of these down so that we're making a bunch of tomatoes, and we'll go ahead and just fill in the little area here. I could have done that with the wheat over here too. I can go ahead and put more conveyors and then fill in the area with more wheat. We might do that in a second as well, but I'm going to go ahead and place a few more of those like this. And then all we got to do is supply this with some water, which shouldn't be too big of an issue. We have a bunch of those pipes still in our inventory, so we should have enough to go ahead and do this. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and just branch it off of this because we already have water coming down that line. So that should go ahead and sort our water situation out a little bit. I don't think we need water for any of the recipes in this thing currently. We do not. Okay. And then we can go ahead and kind of be a little lazy here and just have a conveyor belt going between these 2 little buildings and just dragging the tomatoes right across so we don't have to have a little car doing that. And now we just need to go ahead and set this thing to go ahead and make milk. So we need this recipe going, and then let's see, what else do we need? We need that producing the milk. We need a conveyor belt bringing that, or not a conveyor belt. We need one of our caravans bringing that. So we can just go ahead and have that bringing the milk to this building. And let's see, what else did we need? We need the the fish, and that's it. Okay, so we'll just have a normal little wagon doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and actually stop our people from taking the fish out of here, and then I'm just gonna have a caravan doing it so that we can go ahead and empty a bunch of fish into this thing over and over again. And now that should be kind of set in motion to where we don't need anything else coming into it. We need the tomatoes growing, which they don't seem to be growing. Let me go ahead and crank the workers up on this and see if maybe that'll go ahead and speed things up. I think these just need time to go ahead and grow, I think is what's happening there. And then all we need left to go ahead and connect this building with is the fire source, which is going to be the wood. And then we need to go ahead and take these soups out of here and take them to the warehouse. So let me go ahead and plop one more caravan. We're going to set this to the fish stew, and we'll go ahead and just have that taking that over to the warehouse like so. And I think we can also just be a little lazy and just place down another lumber mill instead of having a caravan pulling from across the map here. And we'll just go ahead and shove this right here for right now to cover. Oh, that's the wrong one actually. What am I doing? Let me clear that again. Oops. It was the forester that we needed. There we go. So now that's going to go ahead and produce lumber. And then what we'll do is just run a conveyor belt from the backside of the building here over to this. So let's see. Can I just do this and have it automatically go? I think we can. It looks a little weird because it's just floating above the surface here, but it seems to kind of work. I don't know if gravity is an actual thing you got to deal with in this game other than with the chutes, but so far it seems fine. Let me go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and drag this on over like so, and that's going to go ahead and start supplying that with the lumber that we need. Let me throw 3 people in there. That's going to be more than enough lumber coming through the line. Maybe just 1 was fine, but now we can go a little overkill with it. But there we go. It's going to go ahead and start producing the fish stews, and that's all we have left to go ahead and complete. So let me go ahead and finish our last tech level. And now we have the cargo ship available. And all we got to do is go ahead and wait for the fish stews to finish. And then we need another 24 or so of the metal rails produced, which we might need to make more wooden rails if it's not a 1-to-1. I didn't look at the recipe. It is a 1-to-1. So we should have just enough of the rails coming through because we had like 100 and something to start with. I just don't know where the rest of those are. It might be in one of the caravans right now. Yeah, the rest of that is in the caravan right now. He's just not hanging out over here for some reason. I guess he keeps unloading and then trying to pick up more from the warehouse, even though he has the very last few that we need to go ahead and complete that quest. But I'm going to go ahead and just let this run because, again, we're just about done with this. We just need the 2 last things to go ahead and finish, and we are completed with the level here. So let me go ahead and let this process through. Okay, so we finally completed the level here. We can go ahead and progress to the next one. I think on the next level here, we're going to have a better start because I kind of understand how we go about doing things now. We can go ahead and try and maximize on farm space because I was kind of under the impression that we couldn't plant our own crops. I thought we needed the other thing here, not that screen. We needed this thing over here. I thought we needed the farm tiles to go ahead and be able to plant our own stuff. But now that I know we can just go ahead and use the gold to go ahead and plant the crops that we want, we can kind of just cram our food stuff in one side of the map and have it all get conveyed into our town. And then on top of that, we can also use the farm tiles if we get some of the fertilizer in our thing to go ahead and build on those, and that's going to also increase the growth rate of our stuff. So that's something we can go ahead and do next time to go ahead and speed things up. This time it kind of dragged out a little bit too long. I didn't realize how long it was going to take me to beat this level, but we managed to go ahead and get it done nonetheless. So let's go ahead and wrap the episode here and complete the level. So there we go. That is level 3 finally complete, and next episode we're going to go ahead and start level 4. So I think this was probably like 2, maybe 3 episodes, maybe 4 episodes at worst, because I thought I could beat this in one sitting. So I tried to do that, and I didn't realize how long it was going to take me. So that's why the episodes, or the last couple episodes, have been a little weird here. But next episode we're back to normal, and hopefully you guys enjoyed as always. So I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.